Welcome our beloved viewers who are following our YouTube page of Light Academy Primary School. It's a pleasure. We thank God for keeping you alive as you are there. We are studying and we are still continuing with our P7, who are our mighty candidates. We last stopped in the other set when we were looking at ethnic groups, and let's just continue from where we had stopped. And today our topic of discussion tonight, we are going to discuss about the terms related to the ethnic groups. Terms related to the ethnic groups. And one of these terms, we have term number one. Let's look at clan. We looked at the tribe. We looked at the ethnic group. Now, let's still go on and we look at a clan. Everyone outside there has a clan. We have different clans here in Uganda. The same applies to other groups of people who are in Africa at large. How can we define a clan? We can define a clan as a clan is a group of people under one forefather. A clan refers to the group of people under one forefather. One can define a clan as a group of people who share the same totem. Or a clan is a group of people who share the same totem. My dear viewers, we can also define it in that concept. A group of people who have the same totem. One can ask, what is a totem? We have another term number two. Totem. How can we define the word totem? A totem can be an object, or rather an animal, or a plant which is respected by people in a certain clan. It can either be an animal or a plant or another object, but is respected by a certain clan. We have, for example, that people of Nursery, who are the locust clan, they don't eat the locusts. People of Mamba, they don't eat Mamba. So it becomes their totem. They respect it, and it becomes even a taboo. It becomes a taboo. We are going to look at also that word, still related to ethnic group. So we can give a definition of a totem as the object that is respected as a symbol in a clan. A totem is an object. Either it can be animal or plant that is respected as a symbol in a clan. Is clans that respect these totems. They respected them, they give them their respect. We are going also to look at culture. Still, that is under culture. How do you respect such things, such totems? And at times, totems, we don't eat them, we respect them. And as we don't eat them, they come to be known as taboos. They come to be known as taboos. A totem is an object or an animal, plant that is respected as a symbol in a clan. We respect them. They are symbols, but we award them some respect. As I've told you, if you are in Chima clan, there is the way how you look at the monkey as the very important thing in your clan. If you are of Mamba clan, there is the way how you respect such things, the way how you award respect to such things that are referred to as your totems. We have another one, term number 3. Culture. How do we define culture? Culture can be defined in many disciplines, or in many disciplines. Culture has different versions of definition. However, according to social studies, we can define culture as the accepted behaviors in a given society. Culture refers to the accepted behaviors in a particular society. That is culture. Refers to the acceptable behavior in a particular society. The behaviors, how a certain society behaves. And culture, my dear viewers, culture is embraced in very many things. Culture can be embraced in many things. How people dress represents culture. How people eat represents culture. How people prepare their foods represents culture. How people speak represents culture. How people behave also represents culture. So culture is embraced in many ways. In primary 5, we have the things, types of culture. We have 2 types of culture. And one of them, we have material culture, and 2, we have the material culture. Material culture, the way how people behave, but under those ways how people behave, we have 2 types. the material ones and the non-material, or rather we can say material culture and immaterial culture. There are two types of culture we do have. Another term we can define, the values. Number 4, we have values. How can we define values? As a term which is related to other ethnic groups. We can define values as the principles or standards of behavior. Values are principles or standards of behavior. Not careful. Behavior. Behavior. Behavior with I-O-U-R, behavior still with I-O. At times, other books, American English, for them they omit letter O. But since for us we use British English, letter O, letter U should be respected in the spelling of the word behavior. Values are principles, I say values are principles or standards of behavior. Or we can define another definition for values. Values is what is considered to be right or wrong in a particular society. What we consider to be right or wrong in a particular society is also value. It can be either be wrong or right. We define also, we can tell it to be a value. We have types of values. My dear viewers, we have types of values.